Continued service education.
Amy, since under B, number 2 has already been done, everybody can vote on the president.
Good evening. I would like to call to order the December 4th, 2023 Franklin Regional Board of School Directors reorganization meeting. Let's begin with a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Ms. Wolf?
Mr. Azzolina?
Here.
Mr. Jarrett?
Here.
Dr. Eshamarian? Here. Mr. Fowler?
Here.
Mr. Kozlowski?
Here.
Mr. Krimsky?
Here.
Mr. Wyman?
Here.
Mr. Yingling?
Here.
Mr. Zebrat?
Here.
All present.
As a point of clarification, with us tonight earlier, we had President Judge Christopher Scheer, who swore in our newly elected board members this evening. And so it's interesting, President Judge Scheer was Judge Scheer when I was sworn in, who swore me in for my first term as superintendent of Franklin Regional. Interestingly enough, his aunt, Norma, was a teacher of mine in high school who had a tremendous influence on me personally. And so really special, and appreciate his willingness to come out to Murraysville and to do the swearing in ceremony for us this evening. Typically, as in the past, different than the past, since we have a newly elected board, we are not having 3 board meetings in one night. We will have our next board meeting in January. However, in accordance with Pennsylvania law, school districts have to reorganize the first full week of December. That includes selecting a president, vice president, and treasurer. Excuse me. And so we are here tonight to engage in that process. But before we get started, since we're not having a regular public meeting, are there any public comments for this evening? Seeing no one moving toward the microphone, I'm going to proceed with the selection of a president pro tempore. The president pro tempore is a temporary president who oversees the process of selecting the board president. And so once we have that position selected, I step back. This will be the only time every year that you see me in this type of role from the superintendent's seat. And so with that being said, I am accepting nominations for the position of president pro tempore.
I nominate Mark Kozlowski.
Are there any other nominations for the position of president pro tempore? Any other nominations for the position of president pro tempore? Any other nominations for the position of president pro tempore? Hearing none. With Mark Kozlowski being the only candidate nominated for the president president pro tempore, I declare him elected by acclamation and direct the secretary to record in such a manner. Mr. Kozlowski.
Now we will move on to, since our members are already sworn in, we'll move on to item C, the election of the president of the board.
I'll nominate Kevin Karimsky.
Are there any other nominations for the office of president? Kevin Karimsky was nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of president? Are there any other nominations for the office of president? Hearing no further nominations, the nomination for the office of president is closed. Kevin Karimsky being the only candidate nominated for the office of president, the chair declares him elected by acclamation and directs the secretary to so record in the minutes. Now we'll move on. Since Mr. Karimsky is remote, I will continue on with the, with the meeting. We'll now move on to the election of the vice president. Are there any nominations for the open office of vice president of the board?
I'll nominate Mark Kozlowski.
Are there any other nominations for the office of vice president? Are there any other nominations for the office of vice president? Hearing no further nominations, the nomination for vice president is closed.
Your mic's not on, Mark.
It is on. I don't know. Being the only candidate, Mark Kozlowski, being the only candidate nominated for the office of vice president, the president declares him elected by acclamation and directs the secretary to do so and record in the minutes. We will now move on to the election of the treasurer.
We don't need to do the treasurer if Scott was not involved in the first two positions. He's already the treasurer.
Is that how?
We only vote on, we only had to put him on there in the event that he was nominated for the first two.
Okay, okay. So being that he is established as the treasurer, we'll continue on then? Okay. Next up on the item is the motion to approve the dates and locations of the committee of the whole and regular voting meetings for the Franklin board as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Herb. Second?
Second.
Second by Scott. Any questions or comments? And I have a vote for that, by verbal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes 9-0. And lastly, we have the appointment of committee representatives. Every board member will have in their packet the options for the different committees that we have. The public comments list out the various committees that are on the board, who those present members are. Feel free for our new board members especially to, if you have questions, to contact any of those committee members for information about it. The ones that are bold are the chair of those committees, and we would just ask you to bring that back, get that back into Ms. Wolf within the week or so, within this week, so that the president can begin to organize that and put our committees together for the new year. Just list them in order of your preference and get those in as soon as possible. And if there's any other questions, if there's no other questions, I just need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Herb, second?
Second.
Second, Tracy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much.
Everybody have a great Christmas, too.
Yep.
Congratulations.